Okay, folks, we're going to start today working on clefs. This is music theory, section 1-3. Okay, so on your test, unless you are in music appreciation, general music, you will be tested on your clef. There will be 3 questions on the test, and I will remove the points or set it up so that you don't have to worry about if you miss the question. So if you play a trumpet, you play treble. If you play trombone, you play bass. If you play a viola, you play alto, and you're the only one who does that still, and we don't really know why, but we're just going to go with it and move on. So, some of you know this already, some of you don't. If you know this, it'll be really easy for you. All right, so we're going to try practicing my staff lines and see if I don't have any huge curves in it. Well, that one's at an angle, and that one is there. That one came out pretty good. And I feel kind of like Bob Ross. Just some happy little lines, just moving right along, going right on. Oh, there was a curve. And there's a mark that I don't know why that's going to be there. And put one more just for spice. And because I'm a perfectionist, we're going to fix this one. So there's that. Yay, looks good. All right, so because most of you use it, and just because that's what I started with, we're going to start with treble clef. Treble clef. Now, side note, for those of you who are regularly concerned that I'm moving too fast or I'm using big words, I'm working with Ed Tech to help me set up a YouTube channel, and I can upload all of these into YouTube so you can go there. And if you need to slow them down, speed them up, put in the captions, watch it 10 times, watch it 100 times, do whatever. So we'll do it that way. In the meantime, this is the treble clef. So, and drawing that is always fun for everybody not named me, because I always manage to take it too short or too small. But you start on the second line from the bottom, 2, and you curl over and up and around. And see, that time it was too big. Third time, just right. How much you want to bet? Let's try it. Okay, and up and down. Close. All right, so probably need to take a step back though and say, what is a clef? Okay, well, let's skip a page and then we'll come back. A clef. Clefs are symbols. Symbol at beginning of each staff, and they're designed to tell you what notes are played where. That's the Broom Escoba short, no big words version. Jasmine, this is for you. Jasmine in 7th period. No big words version. Tell you what notes go where. That's it. That's what it does. Again, each one uses a different instrument. I'm sitting here gesturing, and you guys can all see me gesturing. I know you know what I look like right now, and it doesn't matter. So let's go back. Okay, so treble clef. Who uses treble clef? Well, let's see. Flute, clarinet. The undo button is not where it is in my note-taking app, and that throws me off. Saxophones. I'll take that down there. Trumpet, horn, and French horn. Triple drum, and then an orchestra, violin, and then in percussion, we also have, let's see, what would be the other one in percussion? Xylophone uses it. Marimba uses it. Marimba is that nice big thing that I tune all the orchestra instruments on. Any other instrument like that. Piano uses something different, which we'll get to later at the end of this. So, those are the ones that use treble clef. Now, you learned, hopefully by now, about the musical alphabet and what goes where. All right. So, having learned that, the lines, every good boy does fine. The spaces, F, A, C, E. I always tell all my classes, make up whatever mnemonic that you want for the spaces because nobody really cares. As long as you remember, I don't care. Just don't make up something that you can't repeat later in front of your parents when you ask them or they ask you or I try to brag on you. So, having said all that, FAC. Now, you notice that as we go from bottom to top, the notes ascend. You have E, F, G, and then it circles back around, A, B, etc. And as we go down. You'll also notice that as we do this, that they alternate. So a line here is F, the space is E, the next line is D, next space is C, right? So, and for simplicity's sake, we're probably going to stop this one here in a minute. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think of questions. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to split this into two. This will be treble clef. Everybody should watch all three because you never know what instrument you're going to end up on. For example, if you end up switching to drums, Nicholas, I'm talking to you, and you end up playing the drums that I hope we get, timpani read bass clef, the big kettle drums, and you can tune them with your foot. It's kind of cool. Couple more things just for side notes. The treble clef is also called the G clef. You might need to know that for a test. Hint, hint. Why? Because the second line from the bottom is G. Remember that we count up from the bottom. And make sure you know all of this. So, I said we were going to break it up, and I lied. We're actually going to go ahead because alto and bass we can do pretty quickly because we've covered all of the basics. So, there's our symbol. There's our definition again. I really need to work on my handwriting if we're going to do this more often. So, let's make another staff. And this one will be much shorter because I don't have to practice drawing so much. And we're going to take care of my orchestra folks here that play viola. And they are the lone instrument here. They're the only ones that use it. And this is called an alto clef. They are the only ones that use this. I've said that 4 times because it's important to remember. They are the only ones to use it. Why would it be important to remember? Well, you might have a test soon. Actually, you do have a test Friday, so you kind of need to know. All right, so we have that, and we just curl around like this, and we have another one, and then we curl around like this. Please take a moment, if you can't do that, to draw it and rewind it. I drew it perfectly. I got all my bad luck out of the way on the treble clefs. I drew this perfectly. I am not drawing it again. So rewind the video if you can't get to it. Now, there is no mnemonic for alto clef. I don't know one. I know no viola players, so I can't tell you what one is. So I will just give you the lines. F, A, C, E, G. And the spaces are G, B, D, and F. That is a G. Get off me and get off my handwriting. See, this is why I didn't want to erase. Look at that. Look what I have to do now. All because I can hear some of you complaining that that doesn't look like a G. Well, that's as close as you're going to get. Okay, so that's a G. That's alto clef. Alto clef. Also called C clef. Why is it called C clef? Because that middle line where you draw the little arrows is C. Now, we're going to do one more. Oh, and who plays this? Viola. Only one. We're going to do one more. We're going to do bass clef. 3, 4. My wife tells me that my lines will be very nice and straight by the time all this is over. So, should be good at it. We'll see if it translates from an iPad to a board, though. Right, guys? Right. Moving on. Let's see. So, I don't know why that moved. Curl around here. Draw kind of a fancy curly cue. Come on, give me my dot. Why aren't we giving me a dot? There it goes. Technical difficulty surmounted. Dot. This is the bass clef. Who plays bass clef? Well, let's see. Who might play bass clef at this point? Cello. Or in the Spellburn. cello, bass, tuba. Do we see a pattern here? Trombone. Kimberly, I hope you're raising your hand right now. Kimberly in second period and seventh period. Because baritone. Danny, you too. Stop laughing at him. He does. All right. Cello, bass, tuba, trombone, baritone, bass clef. Very good. Okay. So, last thing. Might want to do the line spaces. Good. That's a better G. Boys do fine always. Good boys deserve fudge always. I'm going to have a piece of fudge after I get done recording this. All cows eat grass. Okay, folks. That is it. That's 11 minutes. This will be your video that you review tomorrow and Thursday. Now, things to remember. Treble Clef. Alto Clef. Bass Clef. Also called G Clef. Also called C Clef. Also called F Clef. Know who plays them. At least one instrument from each one. Same here. Who plays. It's in the notes. Go back and look at it. I'm not writing it again. Who plays. And know the lines and spaces. Somebody else's phone is ringing, but that's all there is to it. Any questions? Post them in the forums, post them on the discussion page, and I will see you guys later. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding.